The final extra time of 2019. Can you believe it, guys? Can you believe it? Well, we're not there yet because we've got a whole bunch of questions to get through, including Frankie, who asked the very important question, who will stay up later tonight? Between the two of you.
No, I'm not sure. Hang on, I'm not sure I will. I might celebrate.
You've got a late dinner booked.
No,
and
we've cancelled that.
Oh, you've cancelled
it's too late. We're still on English time a little bit, so we might celebrate at 7 o'clock instead.
Really?
The Big Ben chimes in London.
Oh, it's definitely going to be me then.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be me.
Well, I know Dan's plans involve 2 New Years. He celebrates the London New Year at 7 o'clock Eastern
Anything
time,
for another celebration he'd love,
and then
wouldn't
5 hours later,
Good idea, that.
he gets to do it again. Not bad, is it?
Good idea.
2 for the price of 1. Talking of Dan, his namesake, has VAR surpassed Van Dijk as the best defensive player in the Premier League? I think VAR has cancelled out 16 goals so far in the...
Yeah, but it's also given some penalties that wouldn't have been given by referees.
Yeah. And a lot of them have benefited Liverpool,
well,
just incidentally.
It's cancelled out goals that the linesman probably hasn't flagged and given us the right decisions. It's not cost us anything. They haven't taken a goal away that should have been a goal, have they?
Well, I don't know. That's the talking.
Well, the answer is no, because you can't say yes.
I'm not going to open that particular can of worms back up again for now.
But you tried to.
You just asked us a question about VAR.
We will revisit it, I'm sure, plenty next year. Do goalkeepers not like goalkeeping around Christmas or New Year's? When you think of Gazzaniga, Ederson, Leno, there has been a few howlers in the last few days. A little fuzzy.
I think
are they a little fuzzy?
Yeah, just goalkeepers making wrong decisions. And I'm not a great fan of goalkeepers. When I was a coach, goalkeepers did their own thing, and they never wanted to join in with the main group of players. And sometimes they get found out, as Ederson did when he starts coming for a ball he should never come for.
Does Shaka know about your distaste?
You do hate goalies.
I don't like goalkeepers.
Get rid of them.
Yeah, I think we should. And they can't play. Apart from Ederson, no goal, and Alisson to a certain degree, the goalkeepers can't play.
Make the goals smaller and get rid of them.
There has been a late year rush on howlers, isn't there, from keepers?
All he's worried about is Alisson not making any howlers.
Right, Alisson has not added his name to the list as of yet.
Keep it going.
Well, actually, back we go to VAR. I said we were done for the year, but fans and pundits were mad when a linesman was 40 yards away, got a call wrong. Now they're mad when now they're mad at VAR when it's even by a millimetre. What's the next thing that fans and pundits will be mad at?
Well, Shaka was on a couple of days ago, and he was talking about how VAR has been sort of made out as the villain by managers, coaches, managers, players, fans, all wanted the right decisions. And now, as the chap was saying there, we're getting to see the right decisions. It takes too long, yes, but we're starting to get the right decisions, and people are still moaning. I'm still an advocate for VAR. I think it can work. It's just the way they are using it at times, particularly in the Premier League.
Yeah. So what's the next thing they're going to get mad at? Commentators? Oh, they always get mad at commentators.
Well, it could be anything. If you're getting mad at the right decision, then I'll tell you what. you talk about opening a can of worms. It could be anything.
Should Nuno Santo be getting more credit for getting Wolves to play at such a high level since winning the championship?
Who said he's getting any?
I think he's been getting
he's getting a lot of praise. They were talking about him
should be getting more praise, I guess. You don't hear it talked about in the same breath as Brendan Rodgers or.
No, I think they were talking about him going to Arsenal. That was one of the. Right. I mean, Arsenal, you would say, was still a big club. Mikel Arteta got the job, but he's done a very good job. They play a certain system and they play it week in, week out. He's got the first manager to get the best out of Traore, who had struggled at several clubs, including Middlesbrough in the Championship. Now he looks like being not a world-class player, but a player that's going to cause problems. So all credit to him.
Do you think he could manage a genuinely big team?
Why not?
Should they come calling? I'm just saying.
Why not? The way his team plays.
Yeah.
You know,
but would he need to take all the Portuguese players with him?
He brought a few.
Well, I was just going to say that if he was put in charge of even better players, then they would be fantastic. The way he plays the game, you kidding?
Talking of managers, this is interesting because it goes back to a little dig Lampard had a few days ago, I think in Mourinho's direction. How did Chelsea ever decide to sell Mo Salah and Kevin De Bruyne? Easy with the benefit of hindsight.
Yeah,
but
that's one of Mourinho's problems.
Yeah.
He wants certain sorts of players. He wants midfield players that are good defensively rather than great creativity. De Bruyne was a player, I think, that couldn't do the defensive side of the game when he was a young player. Mourinho didn't like that. Salah flitted in and out of games when he played for Chelsea, but it wasn't very often. And Mourinho wanted solid players. Now they've gone on to be world beaters.
Easy to sit here and say they should have kept him right now?
No, because, listen, you can't say that Salah and De Bruyne were good when they were at Chelsea. And
They weren't given a
clearly,
chance.
we've seen now the talent they have. They were just playing in the wrong system. So regardless of how good you are, if you're playing and if you're in the wrong team and the wrong system, then you're not going to be able to produce.
Maybe Chelsea were just ahead of the curve, ahead of the time, signing them. That could be a different way of looking at it. They were...
They signed them and then
Well,
sold
they
them.
knew they were great. They just
So they're
signed them
ahead
too
of the curve.
soon.
Didn't
Too
they also
young.
get rid of Matic and then buy him back for 50, some ridiculous amount of money at
Say
one
that
point?
again.
Fuzzy.
We'll come back
He's
to it in
fuzzy.
2020.
How were they ahead of the curve again?
Well, they just knew they were going to be good. They just signed them
Why would they sell them?
4 years too early.
Why would you sell them?
Ran out of patience, didn't they? Best pair of fullbacks. Roberto Carlos and Cafu in their pomp. They were some pair. Or Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, the current Liverpool pair.
Actually, I answered the question very, very similar to this at the weekend. And I'm going to answer it by saying that when Roberto Carlos and Cafu played, full-backs weren't in the sort of positions that Alexander-Arnold and Robertson find themselves in this Liverpool team. So they had to do a wee bit of defending as well. So if I'm going to go for the best pairing, I'm going to go Roberto Carlos, because there's no way that he wouldn't be able to do what Robertson's doing. And I would say that possibly Alexander-Arnold's final ball may just be a little sliver better than Cafu, but Cafu's defending is a mile better than Alexander-Arnold. So in the end, I'm going to go with Roberto Carlos and
absolutely.
Cafu just.
And remember, they were World Cup winners as well.
Yep.
And they were almost invented that position as fullbacks, getting forward with great regularity, driving down the field, and they had the holding midfield player who sat in between the two centre-halves. They were trail breakers.
What was it they used to call Cafu? The Pendolino?
Trailbreakers.
The express
Or
train.
Trailblazers.
Trailblazers, that's the
you
word
go.
I was looking for.
Trailbreakers.
The Portland Trailbreakers. There we go.
yeah.
Finally, what a better way to draw a conclusion to the decade than to get your favourite movies of the last 10 years.
You're going to tell the truth.
I'm going to tell the truth. I had to tell him a movie earlier on that he could say. And then I said, I'm going to say this. And he went, yeah, that's the one. I like that one. So I went, what am I going to say?
I said, no, I'll take that. You go for the other one. That's all.
Oh, which one did you tell him then? What did you tell him to say?
The King's Speech.
Which I'd forgotten about.
Well, that was in 2010, right at the start of the decade.
Yeah,
I'll tell you,
don't worry, it was in the decade.
By the way, I did not fancy it one bit because my missus wanted to go and I thought, you know what, a few brownie points. But I ended up actually really enjoying it.
The King's Speech was a good movie.
Good movie.
Yeah. Movie of the decade.
It won Oscars.
It did.
It won Oscars. And
Colin
that usually tells you.
Colin Firth.
And I'm going to go for the Lion.
Firth, yeah.
Our producer, who has a Dutch element, as you've pointed out previously in the show, says it was boring, that movie.
He doesn't know anything about history or anything like that in England.
How many Dutchmen have got Oscars or Grammys or Emmys? None.
Even worse, a Dutch New Yorker. I mean, what does he know?
That's it. Now, give him a paintbrush.
Right.
Yeah,
You may be on this side.
okay.
Making movies? No.
Movie of the decade?
Lion. With
Lion?
Dev Patel.
Okay.
That's a true story as well. Very heartwarming and great film.
Heartwarming. Listen to you.
Nicol Kidman was in it, Dev Patel.
Yeah.
Boy lost when he was 5, sitting on a train and ended up being
Heartwarming.
looked after by Nicol
Yeah.
Kidman.
Mad Max Fury Road for me.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on, that was
Great.
epic.
Mad Max what?
Mad Max Fury Road.
Who was in it?
Mel Gibson.
Charlize Theron. It was the
Mel Gibson?
Yeah. No, not Mel Gibson. This was the more recent man. Oh, it's fantastic. Road movie.
Who was in it then?
Action. Charlize Theron. That's all you need. That's the only.
So who was Mad? Hold on.
Mad Max?
Mad Max, and he doesn't know who it was.
No, it was her. It was a female Mad Max.
You're thinking of the one with Tina Turner, aren't you? The Thunderdome.
No. This was 2015. It was.
You've
brilliant.
looked that up, haven't you? That was not the movie.
Charlize
you like.
Theron.
It was my favourite
Was
movie
Mad
of the
Max?
decade. It was a brilliant movie.
Charlize Theron was Mad Max.
Tom Hardy. Well, Charlize Theron was one of the main.
Somebody's just told her.
Tom Hardy's just come in.
Somebody's just told you in your ear.
Yeah, that's a good film with Tom Hardy.
Thank you, Dutch producer, who knows a lot about movies.
What about The Drop with Tom Hardy? That was a good film. You ever seen that?
Actually, I've not seen The Drop, no. Drive with Ryan Gosling. That was another great movie.
No.
It's all road movies for me.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't take any advice from you about what movie to go and watch from now on.
Exactly.
Drive was really good. Film noir, LA, Ryan Gosling.
Drive, what was that
Fantastic.
What was that about?
About a driver.
Really?
Yeah, that's all you need to know. You should watch it. Charlize Theron is not in that, though. All right. Can't wait for the next decade of movies and what we come up with in 2029.
I couldn't remember one for the last. What chance have I got?
You'll be rushing out to see one on the first of the year. We will be, what will we be doing on the first of the year? Oh, reviewing the Premier League fixtures.
I look forward to that as well.
Yes.
I'm sure you are, but the fact you couldn't remember.
All right, that'll do it. See you next time.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPNFC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.